Okay, you ready? Unreal, huh? Nick Edwards, the Pyramid Man. I build pyramids, I do pyramid research, and I got started in 1973 when I met Dr. Pat Flanagan. He wrote the book Pyramid Power, and I decided to build a pyramid that looked beautiful, like you see here. And it became the hit of the land, and the pyramids focus the life force energy, which has rejuvenation, healing, and anti-aging effects. Everything seems to get better around the pyramid.
Hi, my name is Janet Hernandez. I'm his wife, and in my occupation is LVM, but I got into pyramids with Nick, and yeah, so here we are.
When I was a child, I got very interested in ancient history, and I discovered that, my gosh, the ancient world was building pyramids all over the earth. You have the Egyptians, the Maya, the Aztecs, the people in South America. And I started reading books after books after books. And one day, when I was 6 years old, this is when I was in third, fourth grade, I fell out of a tree. I like to climb trees. I fell out of a tree, and I hit my head and went unconscious. For a couple of days I was in a coma. When I woke up out of that coma, I could see auras, I could see nature spirits, and I could see into the future. And I kept having a reoccurring dream that I would be building pyramids. And lo and behold, when I started the pyramid business, I was rebuilding it from a dream. Everything that I was doing, I had a dream about ahead of time. And when you bring something from a dream into this world, it has special power. And I've been very successful ever since. My pyramids are #1 all over the world. I carve all these totem poles that you see, and they're part of a reoccurring dream I had when I was a child, and I put that reoccurring dream on my website. You'll see the Tesla coils, and you'll see the leaping jaguar, and it took me over 2 years to carve everything, and I wanted my website to be the recreation of that dream, and that's what it is. When you go to my website, powerofpyramids.com, you'll see Janet's the forest maiden I saw in my dream. You'll see the totem poles and the pyramids and the leaping jaguar. This is a picture of the jaguar, and it took me 2 years to build it. And I painted a leopard's head on it because a jaguar is a black leopard, basically. And we lost all this in a big forest fire in 2009. It destroyed all these things. And so it all lives on in the website, and when you go to my website, you'll see these things. And everyone said, "You're crazy, Nick. You can't put totem poles with your pyramids. You can't dress up like a cowboy and all these things." And I said, "Well, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do it anyways." And everybody loves it. They said that they get a big kick out of going to the website. And I was a Western actor most of my life. That's why you see this Western art around the house, the cowboys and Indians. My parents, everybody said, "Nick, you're crazy. You can't go around saying you see angels, you see nature spirits, you can see auras. They thought I was crazy. They almost put me out of school because I wouldn't say that I didn't see these things. They wanted me to say I didn't see them, but I did. And so that led me to build a pyramid based on modern antenna design. These are made out of aluminum and titanium alloy archery arrows. Arrows that kill animals, and I turn them into arrows that heal people by putting them in the pyramid shape. It's all about shape. This is a motto of the Cheops pyramid of Egypt. If you duplicate the shape as an antenna, you pick up this energy out of radio and TV broadcasts. That's what I'm doing. I'm making an antenna to the life force. It's free energy. All you got to do is have this antenna and you get tons of free life force energy with the effects of anti-aging, faster healing, everything grows healthier and better.
Well, I started getting into pyramids when I met Nick. It was not something that it just grew out of me. It's
10 years ago.
10 years?
You met me 10 years ago.
Yeah, I met him 10 years ago. It's not something that I just had a passion for it. It's just something that God it's kind of like a mystery, and I like mysteries. So the more I find out about pyramids, the more I got into it.
Her dreams got really, really good. Tell them about your dreams.
Well, the experiences I had with the pyramids, well, I don't like, taking medication for like a lot of different things, because I think I'm just even making my body more toxic. And so I found out that the pyramid's supposed to help you, bring your body into balance. So by me meditating on the pyramids, I got over headaches. My dream awareness increased. I was seeing numbers that I usually don't see. And so I consulted an angel book, and that's how I got my messages through. And I didn't sleep problems. It really helps people sleep. I mean, it helped me sleep better.
The oldest science on the earth is very simple. What does society today, what do they want more than anything else? They want to live longer, they want to live healthier. That's why the pyramids were built. It's the biggest construction project in the history of the world. Any nation, even any group of nations, could not today duplicate even one pyramid, yet there was thousands, not just hundreds, but thousands built all over the world. They're discovering new ones every day in Bosnia, off the coast of Spain now, under the ice in Alaska. They were built because something was wrong with the earth, and they were built by visitors, not the people of the earth were used in the construction, but there were visitors that came to the earth, and they were not living as long as they should. They wanted to live thousands of years, and we're receiving detrimental radiation from the sun, and that radiation is causing us to age a lot faster, and they wanted to slow that down. That's why the pyramids were built, to slow down aging and to keep us healthy and to keep libido up. That's everything. They could have built bridges, casinos, whatever, nice restaurants, but they didn't. They built pyramids. And when you have one of these little models to play with, you'll see that it does amazing things. Everything gets healthier and better, and nothing rots. Meat doesn't rot. Meditation gets better. And I believe the pyramids were built about 100,000 to 50,000 years ago. They employed earth people to help them. And then about 5,000 years ago, when the Egyptians decided they didn't want to be nomads, they moved into the ruins and claimed that these were their constructions, but they weren't. A book by Christopher Dunn recently established the fact beyond all doubt that there's machine marks, milling marks on all of the blocks of the pyramids. Everything that was built in Egypt, from statues to pyramids, were built on machines. There's undeniable proof of this. And where are the machines? They're thousands and thousands of years old. They were built 50,000 years ago. And nothing today comes close. Every block, every statue where there's a straight line is laser straight. It's not just straight, but laser straight. The statues of Ramses are mirror perfect on each side. If you take a negative picture and reverse the negative, you'll see they're absolute, and every curve is sacred geometry based on the Fibonacci ratio, just like the pyramids. I do a lot of psychic shows, like the Conscious Life Expo, and I talk to psychics all the time. They come to me. They offer me free readings for a pyramid, so I say, okay. And I ask them, am I just a channeler like Edgar Casey? Am I just channeling this stuff, or what's happening here? And they say, no. Nick, you're the man from the ancient world. You're back to do this all over again to help save the world, to help prevent radiation, contamination, increase crop yields, stop wars, make people happy. The pyramid makes people happy. If you're not happy, you're wasting your life. You got to laugh every day. That's what keeps you healthy. No, but I plan to go with Dr. Flanagan this year, most likely, and to see the Bosnian pyramids. There's pictures in my book of 1974 when I visited the Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan, and that pyramid is larger than Cheops in volume, but it's a landfill pyramid. And when you see the city, it's 2 miles long, and there's smaller pyramids all along the Avenue of the Dead. It was like a spaceport for incoming spacecraft at the time. There's a runway. I believe the spacecraft landed on top of the pyramids because they're very flat on top. And the Mexican archaeologists, they don't even know how old it is or who was there. It's older than the Aztecs, the Olmecs and Toltecs. It's even before them.
I thought they were beautiful looking structures, you know. I mean, they're one of the most beautiful pyramids. I never been to other countries except, you know, the one in Mexico.
We went to Chichen Itza, and when you see the Yucatan and everything's flat, it's like a big wasteland with a lot of brush. Some of it's kind of tropical. Then all of a sudden you see a pyramid that's so beautifully built, and it's huge, even though it's not anywhere near the size of the Cheops or Egyptian pyramids at Giza. It's huge, and it overwhelms you. You look at it and say, oh yeah, what are these people doing? And that's not just a single pyramid. There's 3 others in that site that haven't been restored. And if you go down to the border where you get to Honduras and you go to Tikal, in that jungle area, there's hundreds of pyramids, and they're sticking up out of the jungle canopy. And no one's even explored those yet. Hundreds. And there was something big time going on in the ancient world. I mean, these people stopped the jungle and built cities beyond the most beautiful cities. Like Cortez said when he went into the Valley of Mexico, he said it's the most beautiful city in the world. It outdoes anything in Europe. And these people had a lot of, well, they came from another planet, I believe, and they brought they recreated cities as they were on their own planet. And the same thing with the temples in Egypt, you know, like, they're beautiful. Nothing today even comes close. In the Bible and all the ancient writings, they talk about the gods that came from the sky, and the gods taught them everything. These people came, maybe they weren't gods, they were just higher developed beings, and they taught everything to these peoples, and it allowed these people to advance the race to a very high level. And when they left, they carried on to a certain degree, but then as time went on, things got less and less. It's like Egypt started at its peak and de-evolved. The Maya, the Inca, they all started at a peak level and de-evolved. And this peak level started 10,000 years ago. I've been doing this since the business was officially started in 1975, and that's 38, 39 years. I've seen thousands of people get better. I've heard stories of pets having arthritis after the pyramid was put in the house, the pets jumping back up on the bed, and it hasn't done that for years. I've seen so much positive things. That's what's kept me going. And I have emails every day that says, "Thank you, Nick. There should be more people like you doing something to make things better on this planet." And everybody, I've never seen anyone have a negative effect from a pyramid. Maybe one or two people that were afraid of it in the beginning because they didn't know what it was and that they're writing it off as voodoo or something like that. But after they get involved in it, they can't believe how wonderful it is. It just makes your life better. And our dollar bill, our original dollar bill symbols of the pyramid on the back of the dollar is all about the number 13 and how powerful that is. And my pyramids have 13 parts. They have 5 connectors and 8 tubes. And it's a very lucky number. And we were told it wasn't, just to keep it secret. And our forefathers wanted us to have wealth, prosperity, and health, and longevity. And that's what this symbol is all about. The eye floating above it is a symbol that sooner or later we're going to recapture or relearn this knowledge of all the beneficial things that this energy gives to us. It's not nothing you pray to. It's a physical shape. It's all about shape and form energy. You duplicate the shape, you duplicate the energy, and in the universe, everything's based on the Fibonacci ratio. Galaxies of billions of stars, and there's billions of galaxies, form in the same pattern, and this is energy beyond anything that we can conceive, beyond our imagination. Energy forms in this spiral. It's in the seashells, like you see over here. So can you hand that to me? We're all, even human beings, are based on the same Fibonacci ratio of this spiral. And like I said, galaxies, billions of stars form in that. And the pyramid is basically a representation of, mathematically, of this same ratio. And this is what brings the life force into everything. All living things have this force, and this shell brings in the same energy a pyramid does, believe it or not. Pat wrote the book Pyramid Power. I lived in Burbank at the time, and Pat lived in Glendale, so I went over to see him, and we became really good friends. We used to party a lot, you know. And we used to chase each other all over town. And we met up again after many years in Chichen Itza because we were both invited as keynote speakers there. And we were doing an interview, and he said, "Well, yeah, we used to chase each other around in our cars." And I had a Cadillac Seville, he had a Mark IV Lincoln, and he says, "Now we chase each other in our private airplanes." We don't have private airplanes, but that sounded funny at the time. In anti-aging research than anyone. His mega hydrate puts the negative ions of hydrogen back in your body. When we're born, we're almost 90% negative ions of hydrogen. And we lose it. As we lose it, the free radicals take over and create aging. And it combats aging. It fights off anything that shouldn't be in your body, like heavy metals and other pollutants. And then the crystal energy, which is the treatment for water, it lowers the viscosity, is what the Hunza tribe in Pakistan that lived in the Himalayas, they lived to 130 with no disease because they drink glacier water. What's in the glacier water? Well, they have certain minerals and this lower viscosity, and Pat recreated that through the research of Dr. Canola, and it's amazing. It's so powerful. and it works so well, and I carry those products as well, that they've tried to burn his factory down. They've threatened his life many, many times. And they don't want these products on the market, but they're on the market, thank God. And anyone can buy them, and they work better than anything. Pat believes he's the reincarnation, and I talked to him about that one day. And he says, Nick, you know, you build all my Tesla coils that I buy, and you look more like Tesla than I do. He says, well, I think Tesla, if he came back, he would come back in 2 people instead of 1. And he says he would come back, maybe it's you and I together is the reincarnation of Tesla. I personally don't feel that I'm the reincarnation of Tesla, but who knows, you know. I build Tesla coils ever since I was a kid. And this is my latest device. It's crazy. Like when I got into it, I was working with Dr. Gaines Crook at NASA. I'm an engineer. And he was head of antenna design. He says, if you want to build the best pyramid, Nick, build it as an antenna, because we have tons of broadcasted radio waves, microwaves, cell phone waves, TV waves, everything's being all over the place. And you put up an antenna, like you see here, it's going to pick up this wavelength and this wavelength. And in this shape, it picks up the light force. And as I can demonstrate, which we'll do later, I can put 1,000,000 volts of energy into this pyramid, and it will discharge off the 5 points, and the 5 points spark gapping creates the frequency. And in the atmosphere, all these waves that are hitting it from radio and TV create the light force. You can make an antenna out of any design, and it picks up that energy. This picks up the light force. It's so simple. I'm the first person ever to make an antenna to the pyramid energy. Yes, I was working with Easton, developing better arrows, not just for archery, but for the Army. Do you know that an arrow has about 10 times the piercing ability that a bullet has? So if you want to really penetrate something, you shoot an arrow. And Easton, if you're familiar with Easton Sports, they make the best arrows, the best baseball bats, the best everything, hockey sticks, ski poles, of anyone in the world. And Jim liked the idea, and he helped me get the business started in his own factory. And I asked him one day, I said, Jim, how do you become #1 at everything you do in the world, not just here, but in the world? And he says to me, Nick, I make it better than anybody else would ever make it. And so that's what I did with the pyramid. It was made better. These tubes, feel how light it is. It's like featherweight because it's titanium. And nobody's going to use these tubes. It would be too expensive. But Easton gave me a price. He says, Nick, I'm not going to give you money, but I'm going to give you a price. I'll give you the same price as if you're buying millions of dollars worth of these arrows. And they're beautifully anodized in gold. It would cost as much as I sell this pyramid for just to anodize these tubes. That's how nice of a finish these things have. Plus I have on the top here a treatment dish. Nobody ever thought of putting a treatment dish, something to treat an object on the top of the pyramid where most of the energy is coming off. And this is for jewelry, for your favorite thing. People that like to smoke certain things, they put their favorite bud up there. And it's for rings or special things. I believe that pyramids of the ancient world were built to neutralize radiation because that radiation was causing us to live our much shorter lives. And I did experiments over the years where we would have radium watches. I had a Geiger counter at the time, and the radium watch dial gives off a certain amount of radiation which you can measure. You put it inside the pyramid, just your hand, or you put the watch in there, all of a sudden it gives off almost no radiation. It's amazing. You bring it back out, it gives off radiation. You put it back in, and you can do this time after time. And we also found that using the Tesla coil with the pyramid, which actually amplifies the pyramid 1,000,000 times, you can detox radiation out of a human being or animal. And we did research with that. I was working with a oral surgeon at the time, and we were using some of the radioactive stuff they use, to they inject it in your body so they can do a scan. Mm-hmm. And we found that those people that had that, we zapped them with the Tesla coil, and for maybe 5 or 6 hours, they had no radiation coming out of them. Mm. Tesla was a genius beyond one of the greatest geniuses we ever had. His Tesla coils were designed to counteract radiation. This high frequency, high voltage, especially if it's tuned to Cheops with the pyramid, will detox the radiation. And I'm working with Dr. Flanagan and some other scientists currently where we can prove this with proper scientific method. Mothership, which is over here, which is a bigger one of these guys, it's 42 inches, that hangs over the bed while you sleep. So you're getting this anti-aging energy, you're getting anti-radiation, and you're getting a basic detox. It detoxes anything that shouldn't be in your body, it takes it out. So you're sleeping, you're 8 hours, you don't have to worry about anything. You wake up detox. That's why people wake up feeling much better with the pyramid than without. And once you sleep under the pyramid, you'll never go without it. I've had people that say, oh, I need this money, I got an emergency, I got to return it, and I always allow people to return. I don't say you're stuck with anything. And then, lo and behold, about a week later, oh, I got to have it back. I'm not sleeping the same. I got to have it back, the pyramid. And most people that buy it have sleeping disorders, and they sleep like babies. And people go to bed earlier just to have the great dreams. You have really incredible dreams, X-rated dreams, dreams that you're flying. And by the way, sex goes to the next level. It's like nothing else. And believe me, the ancients were smart. They wanted better longevity, better sex, better health. Those were the three main things why the pyramids were built all over the earth. And that's what I do. It's the most perfect build of all the pyramids, and we refer to it as Cheops. This is the Cheops design. This is a Nubian design. Cheops has the Fibonacci ratio in its cross-section, if we did a cross-section, and this is a direct Fibonacci ratio on the outside. If this is 1 at the base, the uprights are 1.618. And these are very powerful. I'm building these for Dr. Flanagan and myself, and they're as much as 20 times more powerful than Cheops for certain things like meditation, making vitamins more potent, mummifying food. But for sleeping, it's too much energy. You can't sleep very well. So the Cheops is better for sleeping. The Nubian is the best design for meditation. Anything that you're doing in your waked up state. When you sleep, you want a slower, more relaxing energy. This is my number one pyramid that I saw. It's called the Mothership. It's 42 inches square. Inside is a 15-inch pyramid crystal which doubles the energy. And this is the best system to sleep under. And when you sleep like a baby. You have the best dreams you ever had. Sex goes to the next level. You wake up totally refreshed. And guess what? All your pets will be up on the bed when you put the pyramid there, including pets from the neighbors, because we have a door open at night for the cats to go in and out, and we get neighbors' cats coming to sleep on the pyramid too. This is one of my favorite inventions. It's called the Dream Machine. because people say, my gosh, Nick, my dreams have gotten so much better since I sleep with this. And it goes kind of to the foot of your bed. It takes up a lot less room than the mothership. And it's 3 crystals of 10 or 15-inch pyramids base to base. When they're base to base, they give off a lot more energy than a single pyramid. That's the complete form. And energy comes off of every point, and it's a great room energizer. And like I said before, it takes up a lot less room, and ladies really like it because it's so beautiful. It's a piece of art. And beneath it is a 10-inch Nubian pyramid, which also is charging up the jewelry box underneath it. It's a very good pyramid to charge jewelry. So when you wear the jewelry, the energy is coming off the jewelry as you wear it, and it keeps you with a lot of health and anti-aging while you're wearing the jewelry. This is my newest invention. It's called the Architron. It's based on the biblical Ark of the Covenant of Moses. It's made of 6 intersecting circles, and it's created from, on the 3-3-5 ratio, you'll see there's pentagons and triangles, and everywhere you look you'll see 3-3-5, the same ratio given to Moses. I believe the ark was in the box that Moses carried. It wasn't the box, it was inside. And Moses put this together to contact the higher angels. Tesla said that the ark of Moses was an antenna to his higher of angels. So Moses would put together the Architron antenna, contact the angels, and command them to come down and part the Red Sea and other things that he did with his angels. And it's very beautiful. It comes in platinum or gold titanium alloy tubes. The whole Architron weighs about 6 pounds. It has connectors with mirrors. The mirrors double the energy, and there's 9 different colors of mirrors, so you can really create an Architron to fit your wildest dreams of color. And again, it's a device to contact and command angels. It draws angels. Actually, there's angels all around the room here, and they're looking for work. So if you give them something to do, they do it. You can command more business, money. You can command people to get well, heal people. It's very, very powerful. It's the most powerful device of the ancient world, and I've recreated it, and it really works. The first thing I do is I say a silent prayer of, Dear Lord, give me permission to command the angels, because the angels were created for God to use in the beginning. And it's nothing you pray to, you command. Angels, listen up. I want the radiation coming out of Japan to be nullified. I want the radiation to be nullified coming out of Japan. I want the world to be more free of this radiation. Do it! Do it! Do it! The Architron, you can actually command. My fingers are vibrating being close to this thing. I can tell the angels are here. They will do it. You can make something happen. I've had shamans tell me from the northern Cherokees that you could deflect an asteroid with this thing. It's that powerful. You could command an asteroid to deflect. And they're called arcs because they're made from arcs, segments of circles. That's why the Bible calls it the arc. And they're very powerful. So I think to make the world free of the radiation, if we had enough Architrons, enough people like me commanding the radiation to be nullified, it's going to happen. Okay, we have, again, this is an 18-inch Nubian pyramid, and these flowers were fresh for Valentine's Day. I bought them the day before for my lovely wife, Janet. And they actually look better now than they did over a week ago. The pyramid preserves them. They'll stay like this forever. You know, they'll never change. And they'll actually get mummified. There'll be no more water in them. They'll be dehydrated. And they'll still have the smell. They'll still have the fragrance of the original. In fact, the fragrance will actually get better. But these flowers look like they just were put here, but they're, what, 10 days old now? The Egyptians knew about the mummification, so they would mummify the pharaoh before they put him in the tomb or the valley of the kings. They were put in the pyramid first to mummify. And if you put meat in the pyramid, it dehydrates like beef jerky, but the taste gets better and better. It gets so good, it bursts your taste buds. Same thing with fruit. You cut a piece of fruit in half, put it in the pyramid for an hour, it'll pop your taste buds. With this one, you can take it with you. I have one in the car, and I set it on the table when we go out to a nice restaurant, and it just drives everyone crazy because they don't know what's affecting them, but it's attracting angels. And they come around, and it drives everyone crazy. The angels like to have fun. They're like little kids. They're almost mischievous. And when you command them, they overdo what you ask them to do, and they like to show off. They have a lot of power, and they like to show off. So if you, like I ask for business to get better, it gets so good I can't keep up with it. You know, I don't have enough material to ship all the orders I get when I ask for business to get better. And this one's copper strips, 24 gold plated, and it's all hand soldered. It's really a piece of art. In my book, I have a chapter by the artist actually that did the cover. He photographed all these pyramids and temples all over Egypt, and they have scorch marks, like something melted the granite. And it's not just on one big area, it's a little bit here, a little bit there. Like there was a laser battle, and when you have that much energy, you have radiation. So something, maybe there was a nuclear war going on, and there's evidence of that in India. In the Vedas, they talk about atomic weapons. Also in the Bible, when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, it was so there's been a lot of radioactivity. Plus, when a big meteor or asteroid hits the Earth, it creates radiation too, and that's what all that radon is in the dirt underneath our houses. Some houses have more, you know, that's residual radiation, and the pyramid nullifies that, just like it does EMF and other negative energies. It's amazing. In the 1980s, I was healing a lot of people, preventing amputations, preventing oral surgery. And they would tell their doctors, the doctors would try to take me to court because they couldn't charge for the amputation, that I was practicing medicine without a license. And in this country, unfortunately, it's illegal to heal people unless you're a doctor, but doctors don't want to heal people, most of them. They want to keep you coming back for treatment after treatment, and they want to give you pharmaceutical drugs that will kill you faster than your disease. And Janet, my wife, is a nurse, and she's doing extreme studies into natural remedies like the Edgar Casey remedies and other natural things that do better to fight cancer and other disease than these so-called miracle drugs that kill your liver or your kidneys. And I don't practice medicine anymore. I mean, I never did. I don't heal people anymore because I leave that to the healers. It's too bad, but I tell people, if you want to do the healing, buy the Tesla coil, buy the pyramids, and set up your own clinic. You know. My latest Tesla coil, it's the Pyramid Charger 5, the 5th generation. It's the most powerful one I've ever built, and we have on it a Nubian antenna, a discharge antenna, and that'll create the Nubian or Fibonacci ratio. This is your secondary coil, your primary coil, and your capacitors and so forth underneath. I'm going to detonate this in a minute, and it's going to blow so much energy into you. You're going to feel like you're walking on air for the rest of the day and the night. You're going to have all this energy later on. Just 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds of this will blow off anything in your body that shouldn't be there, including radiation. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. You want another one? Notice on the discharge, Tesla said the life force comes off at right angles on the white discharge lightning bolts. And you'll see right angle purple coming off at right angles, as Tesla said, would be the life force.
Well, it has radio frequencies, right? So
Yeah.
Since all of the different organisms that are pathogenic, that means that cause disease, they live on a different frequency, so they get sensitized by the Tesla coil, and I don't think they like it, so they run or something.
They don't like it. They run for their lives. When that includes bacteria, cancer cells, everything. They don't like this energy, and they move out fast.
Well, like you said, it's kind of sad that to be a nurse and still treat patients with drugs which are toxins to the body. And so I just started to get more involved into natural healing, like herbs and pyramids and things that are not accustomed to people now, how they get treated. And I found a lot of, I don't know, I attract this information to come because, maybe because I'm involved in all of this. But I found really good cures that, that people don't want to tell you because of their income, they're selfish.
There's more research in this book that's ever been put out by any other book. It's better than all the other books put together, and then some. Pat Flanagan wrote a chapter in the book and the foreword, and there's a lot of research data on other people besides myself that have done significant research and new findings. Everything in my book is new. It's not what you've read for the last 20 or 40 years, and it's based on scientific research. This book will knock your sock off, blow all your preconceived ideas of what we've been taught about ancient Egypt. The pyramids are real. It's something that I've been doing for 40 years now, and if it didn't work, I wouldn't be here today. And every year the business gets bigger, and thanks to the internet, I'm all over the world. I'm in healing centers all over the world, and people are getting better. They're healing, and they love it. Everybody loves it. Pyramids are a fantastic tool to bring the life force into your house. What do we have more than anything else in our house? TV screens, right? Well, why not have a device that brings life force? You put the antenna up, you get the life force. My book is all about what we're talking about today, of how to use a pyramid, what other people have done with them, how it can help you, and so on and so forth. But it's very simple. We live in a world full of pollution. It's just getting worse. We're losing our atmosphere. The government's not telling you that, but we're losing it big time. As soon as they cut down the forests, and they're defoliating the forest big time in South America. Our country has only 2% of its forest that it was 200 years ago. 2%. And that forest is creating the oxygen that purifies our air, that keeps us alive. And if we don't do anything about it, we're going to lose our atmosphere. We'll end up like Mars. And population should be kept at a zero rate of increase because we're overpopulating the earth. Soon there will be not enough food and not enough oxygen, not enough everything. So the pyramids will help bring this back because it purifies everything and it gives off the positive energy that the earth needs so much. We see so much war and destruction, and human life is so terribly in all these different conflicts. And we need to stop that. If the people had more positive energy, more love, we would stop all these terrible wars. And the pyramid creates that environment. Yogananda said, environment is more important than willpower. And that's a very strong statement because your environment has to be peaceful, it has to be full of love and energy, and then everything else will get better on account of that.